Good YouTube, welcome back to the channel. As you can see the title, The Appeal of One Piece, where to start. This video was actually recommended to me about almost 2 weeks ago when I first started reacting to anime content and I was putting this video off. But this video was recommended to me by George Perez. He told me to watch The Appeal of One Piece. This is a video that a lot of uncultured people such as myself watched before they watched the One Piece series to get into it and understand it a little more. So I didn't want to watch it back then because I wanted to keep enjoying One Piece blind, but now that I've seen a lot more and y'all have explained a lot more, I feel more comfortable watching it without just it telling me everything, you know? So we're going to watch The Appeal of One Piece. Let's go.
There has been a certain ominous shadow cast across this channel. You see, as a YouTuber, I'm generally known for 4 things.
Okay.
My long, in-depth videos, my love of all things shonen, my utterly flawless spelling, and my absolutely perfect pronunciation of the Japanese language. And the problem with those former 2 is that at some point it means that I need to do a video on the series of One Piece. Which is fine, I like One Piece, quite a lot in fact. But the issue comes from how insanely long the series is, currently residing at its 833rd chapter.
This is back at 833 chapters.
Its world, which, according to
It's
the
way
One
past that
Piece
now,
Wiki,
right?
has currently 866 named characters.
Yeah, how long? This came out in 2017, so you know this video is, like, it's been updated even more.
Such a massive series like One Piece. Well,
Even
the answer
more. These are
that
like
I've
800
come to at
unnamed
least
characters. I mean,
is
800
the same
named
way that
characters.
one devours a whale, and that
It's
is
crazy.
people.
At Full Sail, our technology programs are designed with a different approach to learning. We let students get hands-on and start creating.
Piece by piece. One piece. And so, what we're going to do here today is that rather than go straight into a full-blown why you should watch/read, which, don't worry, we will get to, is to first put out a shorter video covering what I consider some of the broader structural aspects of One Piece, which will then free us up and allow us to take a much deeper dive into the characters and themes later on. So with this in mind, my friends, please sit back, relax, and consider this an entree with the main course still to come. And let's discuss the appeal of One Piece.
Let's start.
To start.
Where
I
to
first
start?
encountered One
Let's
Piece
start.
in 2006 on the UK television version of Toonami, and unbeknownst to me at the time, what I was watching was the infamous 4Kids dub, which would become well known over time for its questionable translation and excessive amounts of censorship.
I'm not gonna hold you.
Despite
I'm not gonna lie. Before I watched Dragon Ball Z Kai, like Dragon Ball Z Kai is what got me into anime in 2010 or whatever. But way before that, like back in like 2005 maybe, I used to watch 4Kids.tv on Saturday morning. And One Piece definitely was on there. So I would watch it a little bit. I didn't know what was going on, or I didn't even know it was an anime. But when One Piece would come on, I wouldn't turn it off. So it would just be playing and shit. And then my dad just told me not to watch it. I don't know why. I really don't know why. Nothing bad was even happening. Like, they're even telling us now that it was extremely censored. But for some reason, he told me not to watch that shit. So I was just like, I ain't cared, because it wasn't like when I watched Dragon Ball, I instantly was hooked. When I saw One Piece, I was just like, it's cool, but I don't know what's happening. It's like a stretchy man. So I was like, whatever. I didn't care anymore. But just a little fun fact.
these factors, I really came to enjoy the adventures of Nami, Zoro, and of course Luffy. The series had a unique playfulness to it that made it stand
I guess those
out
were the
from
original
other more
3.
stoic
Zoro,
series I'd
Nami,
seen
and
up
Luffy.
until this point, like Bleach and Dragon Ball Z. And even in the show's more dramatic moments, there was always a tremendous amount of
Wait, what did you say about Bleach and Dragon Ball?
Of course, me, Zoro, and of course Luffy. The series had a unique playfulness to it that made it stand out from other more stoic series I'd seen up until this point, like Bleach and Dragon Ball
Dragon Ball's
Z.
very playful, but Bleach, I mean, One Piece definitely seems more playful.
Of course,
Bleach is
as I
not as
watched the
playful.
imaginative pirate adventure on my parents' old TV,
I like this
what I
old
was
style
completely
though.
unaware
This
of
animation
was
is
what
nice.
a world-shattering phenomenon I was actually dealing with. That revelation would only strike me several years later, when, on a trip to Japan, it became obvious what a massive deal One Piece actually was. Around every corner in every shop seemed to lie another new piece of Straw Hat.
I really want to go to
merchandise.
Japan and just see all
Luffy
that
and the
like
Untitled
anime
were
related
everywhere
content
on
everywhere.
everything.
That would be so
One Piece
lit,
branded
bro.
bread, One Piece
So
bath salts,
colorful.
even entire One Piece branded shops. It was incredible to see how what I thought was a simple show about pirates utterly dominate the mass consciousness of a single country. The closest thing I could liken it to was the Simpsons mania of early 90s America. This was, of course, before I started looking into things like global sales figures and weekly shonen rankings. And if I had, I would have known things like the fact that One Piece has sold over 400 million units worldwide.
Isn't One Piece the most...
third biggest selling comic in existence, recently beating out Spider-Man for the
Damn,
number
it
3
beat
spot,
Spider-Man.
leaving only Batman and Superman ahead of it.
Yeah, I was about to say, One Piece actually surpassed Dragon Ball, Naruto, and Dragon Ball and Naruto. I think the most popular, like in terms of, or not popular, the ones in ranking of money-wise, like which brand built the most money, One Piece is at the top, Dragon Ball is next, Attack on Titan, and then Naruto. I believe that's how, like, the richest mangaka or shonen mangaka is. I think, I don't remember, or at least it was just what the list said. The list could have been wrong, but that's what I seen. But it looks like Superman, Batman, and One Piece. That's lit, and then Spider-Man.
Then, in 2016, Batman sold 1,859,956
So it's number 2.
units,
It might have
and
passed.
Superman sold 828,069 units.
Okay.
And you could even roughly double the sales of both series by taking into account all their offshoot titles. And it still wouldn't even come close to the 12 million in sales that One Piece sold that same year. And where things really start to get crazy,
Man, nobody care about
is that
Superman,
if these trends
bum-ass
were to
nigga.
continue and One Piece were to run for another decade, it would nearly certainly surpass Batman in lifetime global sales. And if it were to run for another 2 decades, which for Oda's sake I hope doesn't happen, it would surpass even Superman, becoming the biggest selling comic in existence. Now, I'm not saying I think this will happen, but it's a hell of a thing to consider. And so, how has a series about a pirate boy made of rubber managed to capture the hearts and minds of so many people worldwide? Well, to put it simply, the primary appeal of One Piece is the simple premise of adventure. And yes, that is also the core concept of countless other shonen series, but nothing really captures the same sense of scale
Why
and
is the boat
exploration
flying?
as the world of pirates. Our hero on this voyage is the energetic young pirate, Monkey D. Luffy. Luffy is a simple character.
I love how, like,
goal
a lot of
to
anime
find the
shows have
series
monkey.
treasure only known as One
Like,
Piece,
monkey
and in doing
is
so,
like a thing.
become
Son
king
Goku the
pirates.
monkey.
This was
Monkey
Luffy's primary
D. Luffy.
motivator from chapter 1 and
like
remains
that
so in
stuff.
chapter 834. And this keeps Luffy's journey along the one distinct path, which is a concept surprisingly unique to One Piece. In most other shonen series, our heroes will go on several different large adventures throughout the course of its run, and
different
these are what
arcs.
make up the arcs. But in One Piece's case, it's always the same journey along the same path, to the point that you can actually chart Luffy's route out on a physical map. And the sub-arcs come from the various different islands or land masses the crew encounters along the way. This
Okay.
works particularly well
So
as
it's
it
just
makes
one
the
big
core story of One Piece.
It's like Attack on Titan, though.
Understand.
The closest thing to One Piece is like Attack on Titan that I can think of. Like, he even showed Hunter x Hunter. There's different arcs which make up different storylines which makes up different arcs. There's the Chimera Ant arc, the Hunter exam, the Free Greed Island, the thing with the Spider Phantom Troops, all that. But there was never, like, they was always Gon trying to get to be his dad, but there were different arcs. With One Piece, it seems like it's just one story, and each arc is just like different things that happen that all just lead to that same plot point in the story. Just like how Attack on Titan, each of the arcs, like in Attack on Titan, I don't even really consider any arcs. It's just like, this Attack on Titan, this happened, that happened, that happened, that happened. Like, I guess you could say break up the arcs by the season. But Attack on Titan is just one story really that just progresses and flows through. And it seems like One Piece is the same way. One Piece is just 10 times longer than Attack on Titan. So that seems like a good comparison.
While also allowing for a massive amount of variety in the series sub-arcs. Some can be very simple, like the Barty arc, in which the Straw Hats visit a famous sailing restaurant in order to recruit a chef, or very complicated like the Dressrosa arc, in which the crew must untangle a web of political intrigue and face down a vicious and tyrannical false king. And because of how the arcs are structured, with literal massive quantities of ocean between them, There's no real limit to the kind of stories One Piece can tell. They start off fairly villain of the week-esque, with most enemies being rival pirate captains.
Is One Piece like supposed to be like every day is another episode? Is that why it's so long and stuff? Like there's no long skips. There's just like, so on Tuesday this happened, on Wednesday that happened.
Global conflicts.
It
And
keeps
throughout
turning
the
pink.
entire
Why does it do
adventure,
that?
there's this real genuine sense of time and progress. When Luffy sets out on his journey from Fuchsia Village, he has little more to his name than a wooden dinghy and his straw hat. And now, 20 years later, he's an infamous pirate warlord, the world-famous captain of one of the most renowned pirate crews in all of existence.
He's a
Straw Hat
warlord?
Pirates.
This nigga's spoiling the whole damn show.
A technologically advanced pantsless cyborg, and even an
Pantsless.
undead violinist with a awful, amazing sense of humor. One of the core joys of One Piece is watching Luffy slowly ascend in status and build his crew as each new battle propels him closer to his dream while also increasing his notoriety worldwide.
Okay.
It's not ever a story you could accuse of moving quickly, but it is always moving.
So it seems like his crew's getting more popular and popular and growing each time. And more people around the world learn about him and know
Adventure
about him.
series is largely dependent on the world the adventure takes place in, and this is another area where the series shines. One Piece's world, to put it simply, is the largest, most intricately detailed and well thought out of any of the long-running shonen series, which may not be obvious from the offbeat cartoonish designs of Oda's artwork, but make no mistake, this is a world of layers with its own government, economy, cultural and racial divides, with many, many different factions, all of whom have their own philosophies and motivations. While Luffy and his crew are often at the center or at least involved in large-scale global incidents, the world also progresses entirely separate to them. Major plot incidents completely separate from the Straw Hats are common, and when they do occur, they reverberate throughout the world on such a scale that it drastically affects the lives of every character in it.
I'm confused. If they're called the Straw Hats, why were they being called the worst generation before?
And depending on the global
Sanji.
climate of the time, Luffy and the Straw Hats' allies and enemies can switch from arc to arc, giving the world this intriguing, ever-changing dynamic. And so One Piece's world succeeds on a grand scale, but what may be even more impressive is the characters that Oda has filled it with. What at first can seem like a cartoonish gag character can, through Oda's storytelling, become a portrait of life at its cruelest and most tragic. And this information is often delivered through weighty flashback stories, in which we're taken through the key moments of a character's life.
So he just never had
And
pants
while a
on.
badly used flashback can utterly kill the momentum of a series, Oda uses them in such a way to give his character
caught a
weight,
train
grounding,
that was
and motivation
riding
that
on
otherwise
water.
just wouldn't be possible. Like, seriously,
see.
you see this dumb-looking idiot in a diaper? This is Senor Pink, and this
Watch
guy
him be the
has a
strongest
backstory
character
that is
in the entire
absolutely
series.
heartbreaking. And upon hearing it, it completely changes everything about how you see him. Moving swiftly along, actually no, wait, no. I know some of you out there don't believe me, so we're gonna prove it. Let's do this. Senor Pink started out his adult life as a member of the brutal Don Quixote crime family, where his days were frequently filled with criminal
I mean, I don't really want to... This is what I be talking about. Should I watch this part and spoil something? Or should I just let it be? But then again, this guy I really doubt is important to the main series. So me spoiling his backstory doesn't matter. You know? I feel like that a lot with One Piece. I'll be like, all this doesn't really seem that relevant to the main plot. So I feel like I can spoil this. Let's go with it. I want to see this
Until one
backstory
day, in
stuff.
the pouring rain, he met a woman
Don't keep
who he
talking
immediately fell in love with. They got married, had a child, and for a while at least, everything was perfect.
She looks just like Nami.
Except that Pink was still involved in the Don Quixote family, which he hid from his wife for fear that she might leave him. One day he's called
He's
away
playing
on
the
a
Bleach
secret
music.
mission and disappears for an entire
Sad
week.
Bleach music,
And upon
okay.
returning, discovers that the day he left, his precious son had passed away, and now his wife, furious and heartbroken, demands an explanation, and he tells her everything, at which point she demands he stay away from her, rushes from the home in the pouring rain, before getting into an accident that leaves her in a vegetative state.
Damn.
Pink, devastated by the events, visits her every day in hospital, until one day, on a whim, puts on a bonnet reminiscent of their son in an attempt to entertain her.
Damn, that was getting deep right when that ad came in. That was getting deep. Hold on.
To present you with a
And miraculously, she cracks a small, delicate smile. And so, for the sake of seeing his wife smile, he continues to dress more and more elaborately, even enjoying the ridicule of everyone around around him. Years later, his wife too has passed, but he still dresses this way out of remembrance for her and of his beloved son. And so, one of the silliest looking characters in One Piece actually has legitimate character motivation for dressing this way. And in justifying this, he becomes an actual grounded, tangible character. What really gets me here is that this is one tiny, inconsequential character in One Piece's world.
Yeah, I'm like, that's
and
a
yet
tiny
still,
character.
Oda manages to imbue him with a sense of depth and grounding many writers fail to give even their main protagonists. And that's to say nothing of the amazing job Oda's done in establishing the main major heroes and villains of One Piece's story. Having so many characters with such fleshed out histories and motivation is the primary factor that makes One Piece's worlds feel so vivid and alive, and makes each individual character feel like a true story in their own right. The last thing I'd like to talk about with One Piece is also one of its least tangible elements, and that is the creativity and imagination that's gone into it. There's always a sense that when reading One Piece, Oda himself is enjoying the world and characters more than anyone. It can be seen in the new and creative ways Luffy uses his at first seemingly limited power. It can be seen in the bizarre visual design of many of the world's inhabitants and the camaraderie that takes place between the Straw Hats, and even in the ever-evolving, unique structure of Oda's story arcs. He always seems like an author not striving to hit a deadline, but an artist creating a world and story distinctly of his own vision. This is something we're going to dig a lot deeper into in a future video, but for now, just trust me, simply no one writes a story like Ichiro Oda. So with all that in mind, where should you start? Well, the obvious answer is page 1, chapter 1. The manga is for the most part a fantastic read, but I understand people's reluctance to get into it given its insane length. And the anime comes with many of its own issues too, such as a weak production run and masses of filler. But if you're curious to know if One Piece really is for you or not, or even if you just want to dip your toe in, allow me to present a different option, and that is the fantastic One Piece Movie 6, Bara no Matsuri and the Secret Islands. Directed by Mamoru Hosoda of the Digimon movie The Girl Who Leapt Through Time and Summer Wars, the movie encapsulates, in a digestible 90 minutes, everything that makes One Piece as a series so much fun, on top of having some absolutely gorgeous animation and character designs, and one of the darkest and hardest right turns I've seen in any film for a while. It requires basically no prior knowledge of One Piece or its world to enjoy, and I think even if you have zero interest in One Piece, seeing one of Japan's most talented directors put his own unique spin on the world of pirates is absolutely worth checking out.
Okay.
Guys, that's going to do it for my intro into One Piece, and there is still a ton more we need to talk about. The characters, their themes, Oda's unique visual aesthetic, and what cursed fruit he ate in order to actually be able to constantly produce a manga of such quality, and we shall in a full-blown why you should watch/read One Piece coming later this year. But I hope this video, at the very least, has given you a foothold.
Well, I understand a little more about the story now.
We're aware, I recently started.
I definitely understand the story a lot more now. The thing that's like, everyone kept saying, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. A lot of y'all in the comments kept saying, oh, One Piece's characters are da-da-da-da, One Piece, they're really like in-depth, and everything. And I'm like, that's cool. But I feel like a lot of animes do this. So I was like, when y'all kept saying that, I was just like, okay, well, whatever. But it seems like what makes the One Piece different is it's not just the main characters who get that treatment. Like, it's not like in Naruto, for example. That's probably the best one I can give. Naruto, like, the main characters have detailed, crazy storylines. Rock Lee and how he trains to be the shinobi, even though he has no ninjutsu or genjutsu. Neji, he just wanted to reform the Hyuga and make his dad proud, whatever. Naruto wants to be the Hokage. Sasuke wants to get avenge his clan and everything. Like, there's Kakashi and like, you know, there's Obito, Hashirama, Madara. Like, everybody has a crazy storyline who's a main character. But unless you're Sakura. But then One Piece, it looks like it's not just the main characters who get that special treatment. It's everybody. Whether you're a random who they just bypass for one episode, it seems like you'll get a whole story, backstory, and crazy arc or whatever, just so you appreciate the character, because it represents like him being a real person in the world. Like, yeah, there's gonna be real people, so you might as well learn about real people's problems and stuff, even if you do meet them just for one day. That could happen. A stranger could tell you all about their life problems. But yeah, that's tough. That's lit. One Piece. The appeal of One Piece. I got more explanation videos on One Piece coming soon. I know I didn't really talk too much in this one, but it was just a genuine reaction. I wanted to hear what dude had to say. So I'm going to join y'all next time in the next reaction. Hopefully y'all enjoy the videos. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we out. Share the videos around for more One Piece content. One Piece on the way. One Piece 1K.